Have you ever caught yourself watching YouTube videos about travel to Thailand, Portugal, Mexico, and thought, I wish I could be doing that someday. I want to do that someday. If you're between the ages of 45 and 65 from the United States and looking to retire and travel the world in the next 2 to 10 years, this video is for you. I want to tell you something. You might be actually closer than you think to your dream retirement travel life. Not financially, mentally. Today, I want to share with you signs that tells me someone is starting to become ready for this kind of life. I saw 3 in myself before we booked our first one-way ticket. Sign number 1 is you're no longer chasing stuff. Throughout our whole life, we've been sold this bill of goods that the American dream involves accumulating more stuff. Better job, better pay, better house, bigger house, better car, newer car, multiple cars, kids, better school district, and constantly upgrading to the latest consumerism that we've been sold. We're supposed to accumulate all this stuff, have this big house, fill them up with stuff. Somehow, that is the dream that we're sold. And you might have been chasing that dream just like I have in the past. One of the very first signs that you know that you're ready for this retirement travel lifestyle is that stuff no longer satisfies you. You feel like there's something more than just accumulating another tchotchkes or upgrading the furniture or your car. And you get tired of it, holding on to all this stuff. It just seems more of a burden than anything. You might go on Amazon Prime and order a bunch of stuff that shows up at your door tonight or tomorrow morning. And it satisfies you a little bit of that dopamine hit when you hit order or when you see that Amazon package arrive in front of your door. But then you realize, oh, now I got to work however many hours or weeks to pay for the stuff I just ordered. And you use it maybe once or twice, maybe not. There's stuff that I've purchased that it's been sitting in the original box that it came in and I never ended up using it. I thought I wanted it at that time, but now it's sitting in the closet in the original box and I haven't used it. Maybe I've only used it once or twice. That is one of the first signs that you know you're becoming close to having that mindset shift to, I want more experiences in my life rather than stuff. And we Americans love our stuff, don't we? So we buy this big old house and we fill them with stuff for the next 20, 30 years. And then now we have multiple generations of stuff. Maybe we got stuff from our parents and then we bought stuff throughout our whole life. And then we have our kids' stuff that they haven't worn or used in 15, 20 years. So we're filled with all this stuff. Now we're holding on to it. Now it feels more like a weight, emotional weight, rather than things that brought you joy, rather than things that brought you financial safety and emotional safety anymore. You're starting to feel like all the stuff that you've accumulated feels more like a burden to you. Maybe you have to pay the monthly payment, the lease payment, the finance payment that you've purchased that item, the furniture set, the dining room set, the patio set, the new car, and the mortgage, So now it feels more to you like a burden than the freedom that you thought you were seeking. And you are ready to not pursue stuff anymore and actually declutter, downsize, and you much rather live with less stuff and more meaningful experiences in your life. So that's sign number 1. Sign number 2 that you're ready for a retirement travel life is that you are burned out. Your body is burned out. You're mentally burned out. The passion for your job is no longer there. The joy and the drive that you once had for that business is no longer there. You feel like you're having Groundhog Day every day. You wake up and do the same thing over and over. Maybe you're not in the bad situation, but you just don't love your life anymore. You just turn into this automatic human machine that you get up, you go to work, you clock in, you get the paycheck. It's not a bad job. Maybe you're good at your job, but it no longer challenges you. It no longer gives you that passion and drive. You no longer get excited to get out of bed, to go to work, get a new promotion, to go up to the next level in your business or try this new thing or that thing. You no longer have that drive. In fact, you notice that you just kind of done. And I had that feeling where the businesses that I was involved in, the things that I had going, that I was pursuing and building so hard, it just did not have the same joy, the passion, the drive anymore. I did not find joy and fulfillment from those things anymore. And I much rather spend my time building meaningful experiences and traveling the world, experiencing other cultures, or doing something that is not on the clock all the time, that is not in the pursuit of making more money or going to the next level or leveling up in the capitalist corporate ladder that you're going up. So if that's how you feel, you burned out from your job or your business or whatever you have once loved and were passionate about, but that passion and drive and joy is no longer there. Maybe it's not from your job. Maybe it's just the town that you've been living in for the last 15 years and you just want a change of scenery. You kind of want to get out of the same old, and you're itching and you basically say, hey, stick a fork in me. I'm done. That's the feeling I felt before we left the US. And I talk about in one of my other videos that my first month in Da Nang, Vietnam, we got there and I did not do much. I just sat on the beach, slept, rested, let my body allow to adjust and breathe for the first time in who knows how many years. It felt like I knew that I was feeling burned out, but I did not realize how physically exhausted and burnt out my body felt until I had no more responsibility, until I had no more business to run every day, until I had, no more phone calls and emails and cell phones that I'm being trained to, and, working on this project and that thing and this thing and that thing. So it took me a while to realize, oh, wow, my body needed to breathe. My body needed to reset. And when I was in the middle of the hamster wheel, in the middle of the hustle and bustle in the US, my body couldn't relax enough to do that because we're constantly on the go, because that bill needs to be paid and this needs to be done. This project needs to be finished and this obligation and that thing. And it just doesn't stop. Hey, would you do me a quick favor? If you're enjoying this video, please click like and subscribe so you don't miss other videos like this. And the YouTube algorithm can also understand that this video needs to be seen by other people like you who are dreaming about their next chapter as their retirement lifestyle. I realized that my body was burnt out and I knew that I needed a change, but I didn't realize how much I actually needed it. And when we were sitting in Da Nang on the beach and just not doing much for the first few weeks, is just letting our body recover and adjust and breathe, just get a chance to be a human being again instead of being human doing that we've been doing for years. That's when I realized, oh my gosh, what I have been feeling back in the States of I'm burnt out, I cannot do this anymore. I find no joy and passion and drive in from these things anymore that I used to. That's a sign that your body and you are burned out. And if you're dreaming about retirement travel, if you're dreaming about early retirement and travel, that is another sign that you are ready for that. Your body is asking you, begging you to give it what it needs instead of the go, 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 the drive, the hustle, the hamster wheel. The next sign that you are ready for this lifestyle is that you spend more your mental energy and time researching about this lifestyle, something different than your current one that you're living in. Basically, you're looking and dreaming about, oh, what it would be like to travel the world. What would it be like to live somewhere else? What would it be like to retire there or here or travel or slow travel? You are wanting and desiring and spending more of your time and mental energy dreaming about this lifestyle. Maybe you're watching YouTube videos, binge watching YouTube videos like this, looking up Google Maps, looking at hotels in different countries, locations, pricing apartments and accommodations, and looking up cost of living in different countries and travel costs, watching retirement videos, watching travel videos, reading Facebook groups. That's not a waste of time. That's a sign that what you're wanting and desiring and needing is something different than what you're currently in. Your soul and your heart is reaching out for something different than the current season you're in. And that season is just another sign that you have passed the current season and you're ready to move on to the next season of your life. And if that's retirement travel, that's slow travel, if that's digital nomad, that's early retirement, or retiring to another country, more affordable country with more affordable prices and better quality of life, then that's another sign that you have mentally checked out of your current season that you're in, your current physical location, and you are already ahead of yourself and reaching for what's next. And I want to assure you, there's nothing wrong with that. That is actually natural. When we have checked out, our mind and our heart checked out from our current situation or current season that we're in, and it's reaching for something different, the next season that we want and desire, then it makes sense for us to be filling our time, filling our mind with what we want next. I've done the same thing. I watched countless YouTube videos and not only watch them, but also ask myself the question, can we do this? Is it really possible? And which is what launched us on this journey of figuring out, okay, what does it really take? And what does it feel like? Is it something I want to do long term? Is it something I want to do short term? What does that look like? And that leads into the next sign, the fourth sign that you are ready for this slow travel or retire and slow traveling the world lifestyle is you started asking yourself, how can I do this? Instead of, is it possible? And this is a huge shift. And this is a gradual shift that happens in the beginning when you're just watching other people do it on YouTube and on other social media. You're thinking, is that even possible? Is that real? How could they do this? Maybe they're thinking they must have tons of money. How did they do this? How is that possible? And then from you asking, how is that possible? Is that even possible? To, how can I do this? How can I afford to do this? Can I do it? What is it going to take for me to do this lifestyle? That is a huge mindset shift. And this is a very natural progression. And it's actually a good sign that you are ready for this retirement travel, or even if you're not fully retired, you're ready for the slow travel lifestyle. Again, remember, you can do this retired or not retired. You can have a side hustle, you can run a business, or you can have, passive income, or a little bit of remote work, or whatever you decide to do. It is how you want to do it. It's very much up to you. If you don't want to work at all, just want to take your retirement withdrawal and you can afford it and be happy with it, then that. And if you need a part-time job or remote work or whatever to sustain this lifestyle, then, well, there's that. So in this stage, you start to ask, how much would I need to live this lifestyle? You start to ask, where might I want to live or move to or travel to? You might be asking, how can I fund this lifestyle? How much will I get from my pension, my social security, my retirement, my savings, my, rental homes or whatever you have? You start asking, could I work remotely? Can I do my job from anywhere in the world or certain countries? Once your question changed from if it's possible to how can I do it, then it really becomes a more solid plan. If you saw yourself in one of these signs or stages, then be encouraged that you're on the right path. If this is the lifestyle that you want, if this is what you want, then congratulations, you're on the right path. You have all the right signs of somebody who is actively, practically, and realistically planning and researching and going through the necessary steps to have the mind shift change to prepare yourself for this lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching till the end. For videos like this and more practical tips on how to retire and travel the world in the next 5 years, subscribe to my channel. I provide practical tips on how to retire and share my real experiences of how I'm building this lifestyle. I'll see you in the next video.